My name is Melanie, and I chose to research what impact community gardens have on society. Personally, I love being out in nature, especially in the garden when I have plants growing myself. I had the privilege of growing up with a mom who also did gardening, and I learned a lot from her. Here's some of the facts that I found while I was researching community gardens. The Gale Encyclopedia of Nutrition and Food Labels had an article on community food systems. It said that historically, communities formed around food systems. It wasn't until the 20th century that food became globalized. Then in the 21st century, there was a renewed demand for local food, which would improve health and reduce illnesses with fresh food that's grown in season. Urban populations sometimes have difficulty getting fresh, affordable, in-season produce, and community gardens are one way to alleviate this problem. These plots of land, usually within or nearby city limits, allow individuals and families of different cultures to come together and share the work, as well as their knowledge and skills in gardening. The produce that they grow, they can then share with their family, their friends, neighbors, and maybe even a local food bank. Sometimes organizations or even government programs will help provide tools and supplies for gardeners. Community gardens can add a greening effect to cities, and Sarah Taylor Lovell challenges city planners to include these spaces in the planning process and to protect them with zoning. She wrote an article in 2012 stating that urban areas sometimes suffer from childhood obesity, diabetes, and poor nutrition. Community gardens would help to alleviate these issues, giving access to fresh, nutritious food. Katie Mayers wrote on her website that community gardens improve mental health, which was especially evident during the COVID isolations when there was a need for community support. They can also more likely bring other improvements to low-income neighborhoods, such as lowering crime and bringing communities together. Another community that really benefits from these gardens is the immigrant community. Destiny Otadesi and others did a study in the immigrant communities and found that there's a lack of fresh, affordable ethnic foods. Community gardens would provide them an opportunity to grow these ethnic foods, and also they could share this knowledge with their children for future generations and also with the community around them. There's many successful examples of community gardens in the U.S., and the two that I found especially interesting here. One of them, Seth Schindler, wrote a book in 2022 about how the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona fights hunger with more than just food. They also teach kids and adults how to grow their own food, how to cook it, and about basic nutrition. In 2011, they founded a 6-acre community farm called Las Mipildas. They allow families to have a free 4-foot by 20-foot garden plot, along with free tools and seeds and education on gardening. They've also organized farmers markets where small growers are able to sell the produce that they grow. And the people that come to shop there are able to use their SNAP benefits to buy the food, which is pretty cool. In 2018, their members grew over 4,000 pounds of produce from 68 garden plots. And then there's another story closer to home. Julia Berdelsky wrote a news article in 2024 about the Tarentum Urban Farm in Pittsburgh, PA. They opened in 2015, and they have volunteers that plant the gardens and maintain them throughout the season. And anyone can come and pick produce for free. There's no fences around the property to keep anyone out. They also teach kids in school programs about gardening and good nutrition. The farm reported that several low-income and senior apartments nearby have over a mile to the nearest grocery store, and they really rely on the farm as their only source of fresh vegetables. The farm says that they're so successful they can hardly keep up with the need, and they put out a call for more volunteers to help them out. After reading about these success stories, I asked ChatGPT what factors might contribute to successful community gardens. And it said, make sure you have plenty of sunlight, fresh water, and fertile soil in order to grow crops and vegetables properly. You should also make sure that the community that's participating in this garden feels safe while they're there. And a strong core leadership team would help ensure that, as well as making sure the garden continues year after year. It's good to have cultural diversity where anyone feels welcome to come and participate and learn. And it's also good if the community has shared goals so that everyone participating feels included. Education is really important as well, especially mentorship for others who want to learn about gardening and how to change their lifestyle. And it's really good for teaching future generations how to grow their own food.